decided this year that I'm no longer drinking. We actually have a loft space above our living room. Now that this room is clear, we brought up the daybed frame. Hello, and welcome back to the vlog. It is Friday night and I'm still recovering from a little bit of a cold, so we decided tonight will be the perfect night to just stay in and cook a delicious meal. Food is medicine, and I have been picking up a CSA share from a local farm every other week or so, and the last few days I've just not been in the mood to cook, but I need to use this stuff up. So we're going to modify a Serious Eats recipe called butternut squash and kale Ferrato, I'm not sure, but it's made with farro, so I'm sure that's where that word is coming from. Instead of the butternut squash, we actually got a different kind of winter squash in our CSA share last week. This is called Tetsuka Buto. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure if it's anything like butternut squash, but since we have it, we're going to use it to replace where it calls for butternut squash in the recipe.
You want to try this ready one?
Okay, this was a beast to cut up. The skin was really tough, so we had to try a few different knives. But once we got that off and I was able to cut it in half and scoop the seeds out, it cut up nicely just like a butternut squash. So hopefully the meal was worth all of that struggle. So now we are going to prep the squash on this pan to roast it and make it all nice and soft. So I'm doing a whole bunch of olive oil and salt. And then I'm just going to mix it with my hands. Okay, I definitely put a little too much olive oil, but that's okay. I'm going to put this in the oven to get it all nice and soft, and then we will work on the rest of it. So this recipe calls for farro, but since we don't have that, I am using a rice called arborio. It's an Italian style rice used in risotto dishes. So it kind of looks like white rice, it kind of looks like pasta, but it also requires a lot of liquid like farro, so I think it'll be an okay swap, but we will see. I've added the wine, the kale, some salt, onion. Now we're just kind of stirring this all together, and then I will start adding this monster bucket of broth so we can start softening up the arborio. We're gonna wait for that to cook down. There's a lot of liquid. You add a little bit at a time, let it kind of like absorb and evaporate off, and then add a little more. So I am going to make a little mocktail. I decided this year that I am no longer drinking. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't really like it, to be honest. I feel like it's something that I convinced myself that I liked because everybody around me drinks and I want to be part of the party, but I just don't enjoy it, and quite frankly I'd rather be drinking apple juice. It just tastes better. I've also in the past had really bad headaches after drinking even like half a glass of wine. I'm sure it has something to do with not drinking enough water, but it's just not worth it to me. Like, having those headaches is so frustrating and debilitating. and it's not worth it to me to like suffer the next day because I had a little bit of alcohol. So not only is it better for me in that regard, but it's just better overall because alcohol isn't like the best thing for you. So I am going to make it my mission to come up with lots of fun mocktails this year because I love a drink, I love a fun glass, I love different flavors, but I just don't want the alcohol part of it. Tonight I'm just going to make a go-to mocktail because I happen to have these things on hand. I usually keep some sort of mocktail makings on hand, always cranberry juice, 100% cranberry juice, not cranberry juice cocktail. That stuff is disgusting and way too sugary. So make sure if you're doing this, you get 100% cranberry juice. It's super tart and super delicious. I definitely lean more on the side of like tart, soury kinds of drinks and not super sweet. The sugar like gives me a headache too, so I love this. I also have ginger beer. We have tried every ginger beer out there, I swear, and the one we keep going back to is Fever Tree Refreshingly Light. It's not as sugary, but it has a nice strong ginger flavor, and sometimes I will even add additional ginger because I love the spiciness of ginger. You can buy frozen ginger cubes in the freezer aisle sometimes, or you could just have a fresh thing of ginger and like grate it and throw it into your drink. So I don't have either of those today, but if you did, that would work well as well. And then a lime. You can use the juice from this, you could add some zest to your drink, you could also like peel a little piece of the peel off and garnish your drink with that. So lots of things you can do with lemons and limes. In this combination with the cranberry and the ginger, I do prefer lime. I'm always gonna add more and more and more tart to my drink because that's who I am. I'll add like a little bit of sweetness sometimes with like honey. You could do maple syrup. I try to avoid like simple syrups unless I'm making them myself, which is something I learned how to do in a class that my friend Lisa and I took. That was a lot of fun, so maybe we'll do that sometime. But I do try to avoid like the simple syrup from the grocery store because it is just like not great for you. And I don't love sweet. So we'll whip up a little mocktail with these ingredients. Let me know which end of the spectrum you guys are on, tart or sweet, and I will tailor some drinks towards one direction or the other. My dish. I sprinkled some extra Parmesan cheese on the top, so we're gonna taste it, see how it is. It basically turned into a risotto dish, so I don't know what I was talking about earlier. I should have just said that. I was basically converting it from farro into a risotto dish. Honestly, you can't go wrong with risotto. The squash is delicious. I will say, I tried the squash just plain before I actually put it in the dish. I'm not a big fan of plain squash. It just was one of those things as a kid that I didn't love, so it always brings back those memories. But in a dish or a soup or anything like that, I tend to love it. The one exception is delicata squash. I do love that sliced up with salt and olive oil and roasted in the oven. I will eat that plain. I don't know what it is. It's probably just the flavor, but I do really enjoy delicata squash. Anyway, we're going to eat. Highly recommend. Tastes good so far. You could do it with farro or you could do it with arborio like we did, but let me know if you make it and what you think. believe it or not, it's actually afternoon already. I've been running around like a crazy person, doing errands, stopped at a few thrift stores, have a new thrift vlog coming up, and yeah, somehow it's almost the end of the day. But Matt and I have decided to prepare for an upcoming project I'm going to be working on. So, if you recall, many vlogs ago, I ended up finding this Ethan Allen daybed frame on Facebook Marketplace, and we picked it up because I knew that the guest bed, which is a queen, in Matt's office, just took up too much space, and we wanted a bed that was sort of more contained when we weren't using that space as a guest room. We actually have a loft space above our living room. So this area up here is just an open loft area. So what we are going to attempt to do in preparation for that daybed project is relocate the queen bed in his office to this loft space as like a temporary makeshift guest room area. We'll disassemble the frame and just put the mattresses on the floor for now. It'll probably be used like once a year, but it's just an empty space that we're not using right now, so we figure we might as well throw the mattresses up there. So yeah, we're gonna attempt to relocate that and lift a mattress in the air, just the two of us. Okay, we are standing in the opposite corner of the living room looking back up at the loft. So once upon a time, this room was actually a garage or an extension of the barn, and this floor went all the way across to here, and then they had a ladder to access it, and it was just storage space. But once this room was converted into an extension of the house and is now a living room, they took down half that floor, took the ladder down, and just left it as open storage space. So Matt set up the ladder over here. We're gonna climb up there, see what it looks like. I think I've only peeked my head up there one time since we moved in, so I'm hoping there's nothing scary up there. And I'm going to vacuum, clean up, throw a rug down, and then we will work on getting the mattress up there. We are also on storm watch, so you can see it's just starting to snow. I think we're supposed to get somewhere between 6 and 10 inches tonight, so over the course of the evening, this will be turning into a big white wonderland. How's it look? Just dusty. Someone must have thought of this idea before we did, because there are actually plugs up here on either side of the wall. So that means there will be phone charging and lights up here. So I have this rug. I don't remember why I bought it. It might have been an outdoor rug at one point, but it's currently unused. So I was thinking we could vacuum this off and put this on the bottom, and then we could put the mattresses on top of it. More. Yeah. It's pretty warm up here.
Oh yeah?
I think so.
Oh, you think so?
Probably better access to the vents up here than you do down there. Well, this is such a good view! Before we actually put an offer in on this house, Matt and I didn't actually think we were going to. Like, we just thought it was like out of our price range and someone else would swipe it up because the market was so crazy. And he had said something about like imagining our nieces and nephews like hanging out in the loft and like having friends' kids over and playing in the loft, and like we just couldn't unsee that. And this is my first time actually being up here. This is like the dream hangout. This is such a cool space. Like the view from up here, I'm gonna flip the camera so you can see. How cool is this? You even have a window so you can see outside. Got this like tall lofted area. You can still kind of see the TV, but Matt was saying it would be cool to put like a projector screen or something up here so we could have like a movie night. Oh my god. New area of the house unlocked. Obviously, we would need some sort of like railing and an actual ladder, not this ladder. So we'll have to like brainstorm ideas for that, but so many possibilities up here. We are now upstairs. This is the bed we are going to disassemble. So I actually found this frame on Facebook Marketplace years ago for free, and I just painted it black. But now it is time to break it down, find it a new home, and relocate these mattresses. Hi, we're over here. Hi. Now that this room is clear, we brought up the daybed frame. We only have the 3 sides of it. We're going to build out the middle part, which supports the mattress, to customize it the way we want. So when we picked this up, we actually discarded the metal frame that was a part of it. It was kind of rickety and rusty and old, so really I just liked the frame and knew we could kind of do something with that. We still have the hardware, so we're going to attempt to screw these 3 pieces together and kind of roughly set it in place so we can see if it fits, if we like the look of it, and what we need to do next. Here it is in place. I definitely love the frame. I fell in love with it because of this like really beautiful curved shape, but it does feel a little bit big, especially because Matt's desk is so long and it comes out so far here. So now we kind of create this like dead space in the corner. My original plan was to just get 2 twin mattresses and stack them and build a frame in such a way that we could slide the base out and unstack the 2 mattresses so it kind of becomes one, and 2 twins next to each other are almost the size of a king, so this would comfortably sleep 2 people. But that would take up like 90% of the room, and you wouldn't be able to access the bed on this side because the desk is right here. So I'm trying to think if there's another way to like slightly modify this to accommodate a smaller mattress. A friend of ours has a foam mattress that's like a tri-fold, so it folds in 3 parts and it's not as wide as this. So I'm trying to think about ways I could modify this, like maybe cutting a little bit off of each side to make it a little less wide, and then cutting these ends off a little bit to make it less deep, and that way it wouldn't take up as much space. We could accommodate that tri-fold mattress and still kind of like unfold it to be a full bed if we need it, but it would function as like a daybed sofa type thing, you know, when we're not using it as a bed. Part of the challenge is that I had my heart set on this and now I can't unsee it, so I need to like shake that off and try to think about other solutions, because most importantly, I want this room to function for Matt as his office and not be cluttered with stuff just for the sake of fitting a bed in. But it is important to me that this room can accommodate 2 people, so if we have a couple stay with us, you know, they can comfortably stay here and they're not like squished into a twin bed or something. So more to come. We will be working on this project for a little bit, but Matt wanted to clear space in the room and I needed to kind of see this here to decide what the next steps will be. So I'll keep thinking about it, and when we get to that project, I will of course share that with you. That is it for tonight. As you can see, it is coming down behind me. We don't quite have an inch yet, but it's coming down pretty steadily, so I'm excited to wake up to a winter wonderland. I think I'm going to make a mocktail, start cooking some potato and leek soup with our CSA goodies. I know, I'm coming. And I'll store that in the fridge so we can have that for like lunch and or dinner over the next few days. And then I think we'll curl up and watch a movie or something. Something cozy for a snowstorm. Good morning and welcome to the snow globe. It looks like Whoville outside. It's so magical. I literally took like 5,000 pictures this morning. Every time it snows, I just like whip out the camera like I've never seen snow before, but it still gets me every time. We woke up bright and early to clear the driveway, clear off the cars, and spend some time outside with the dogs. They both love being outside when it's snowy out. Piper usually lasts like 5 minutes, but Junie loves playing fetch in the snow. She also loves trying to rip your gloves off. That's her own game that she invented, so that's fun. But now we are on our way to X Golf in Acton. It's an indoor golf simulator where you can rent a bay by the half hour. You can have just one person in the bay, you can have 4 to 6 people in the bay. You're just paying for the time that you're there. So Matt and I booked 2 hours, so we'll see if we can get through 18 holes. Today we're gonna do a scramble, which is where you basically play best ball, and that just helps kind of keep things moving along when you're playing with someone like me who takes a lot more strokes. So hopefully this will help us speed up our play and get through a full 18 holes. Playing the Turtle Bay course in Oahu, which was so fun. I love playing courses that are along the beach because I feel like I'm going on vacation, even though I am not. We did play a scramble, which was so nice. It sped up the pace of play significantly, and it gave Matt and I both more like equal playing time, where if we just play a regular round and each person is playing their own ball, I play almost double the amount of time as Matt, which is kind of crazy. So obviously lots of room for improvement. But today was truly one of my best playing days ever. I don't know what happened, something just clicked and I was making really good contact. My swing felt a little more loose. I tend to play a little bit stiff, but I only had a couple of duds, and a few of my balls were actually a little bit closer to the pin than Matt's, so we did get to play a few of mine, which was fun. But anyway, hopefully we'll be able to do that a few more times throughout the off season, because one of my goals for this year is to just improve my golf game and spend a little more time golfing, because it really is a fun sport. I am very competitive, and golf is not one of those sports that you can just like pick up naturally. I mean, I'm sure there are people who pick it up naturally and are pretty good, but there's a lot of strategy and a lot of factors that change each day on the course. So you know, you have to know the game really well and also know your clubs really well, which I'm still learning. So anyway, I was planning on working on a few of the items in my new book, A Healthier Home, which was gifted to me this year, or last year rather, from a friend. But I think I'm gonna save that for the next vlog, because I wanna kind of share what I'm going to do and how I'm doing it with you as I work through this book. So we'll save that for the next vlog, and I will wrap this one up here. I will also be posting a thrift with me vlog in the next few days, so keep an eye out for that if that's something you're interested in. I'm going to go pick out a new book and curl up on the couch in the sitting room and read for a bit. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me this weekend. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button so you're subscribed to the channel. If you want to get notifications for future uploads, hit that bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up with you in the next video.